today we are gonna have a very okay, I don't know why I keep saying we. I'm gonna have a very chilled out, just mellow podcast episode. And yeah, if you're here, hello, welcome. And let's just, I don't know, talk. Just hear me talk about random stuff. And, well, just hear me talk about random stuff, I guess. So, I do, as I mentioned before in one of my podcasts, I write down certain topics that I want to talk about. And so while I was writing down today's topics, I realized how kind of spread out every one of my interests are, and just how I don't know, like I do want to define myself within like certain limits, because that's okay. I think I'm gonna talk about this later, but like just like very briefly, I do want to like, label myself like, oh, I'm an artist and I do this and that. Instead, I keep trying new things, and I'm 23, and I almost said I'm 21. I don't know why. So I'm 23, so it's about time I settled down on at least one or two things, and then, grew from there. But I still can't stop having interests, I guess. So I decided to really, I decided to really accept that about myself, and that's why I really don't stop myself anymore when I want to try new things. It does come with its limitations. Like you don't really get to be super great in one field, but I I guess it's a constant process. My mindset right now is more like I'll do different things but always come back to one or two things. So when I do those different things, whatever I learn there, I can just bring them to the one or two fields that I'm really focused on. And I think that's the way I can really just that's the only way that I can really stay motivated. And so yeah, that's like a very long introduction yet again. I'm sorry, I suck at introductions. I just go on for years, and my train of thought just completely becomes lost. Anyway, so yeah, so when I was writing down the topics, I realized like, okay, I have so many different kind of things I want to talk about, which is, I guess, not bad, because that makes for more stuff to talk about in podcasts. So yeah, so today I want to firstly address that I have kind of a new setup. It's still a work in progress, and I just basically got some cute lights. As you can see in the back, I'm putting down plants in the back. I just really want to put a lot of green in my room, and which is very important. If you are, since especially it's we're mostly stuck at home these days. We have been for 1 or 2 years now. Bizarre, absolutely bizarre, but we've been stuck at home, right? So get plants, get green plants, whether they're fake or real. Just get plants in your room and try to look at as much green as you can, because humans associate green with like calmness and peace, and also like, nature has so much green in it. So if you look at like evolution, or just if you just look at like history of civilization and whatnot, people have spent most of their time outside, like either for agriculture or hunting or whatnot. So you really want to, sorry, my AC is acting up. You really want to surround yourself with green, because that's just part of what's gonna make you feel not stressed. So yeah, get a lot of green stuff in your room, especially plants, green plants. You can look at money plants, which are really easy to grow and super hard to kill. So get some of those. And also, if you are just a beginner at like taking care of plants, or you've never done it before, you could get some fake plants and get like one indoor plant and learn how to take care of that. So, get some indoor plants and just start with one, so you don't really kill a lot of plants, but you learn, and there's a learning curve there for sure. And also, it's a lot about habits too, like watering your plants, remembering to water them. But it's gonna make so much of a difference for you. It sounds so simple and basic, but most people have plants in their balconies, and that's just not like the same thing as having them in your room. So I would definitely recommend you to get lots and lots of plants in your room, especially green plants, and also try to get green paintings. Maybe hang up paintings of leaves, or just, you get the gist, right? So do that. That's a healthy tip for you, for feeling better and de-stressing, I guess. I'm also really working on a room makeover, but I'm kind of not sure how much how much I should change in my room and how much money I should spend, because I am not here for too long. I'll be moving back to Malaysia so like it's definitely a big question, like how much do I spend even? But yeah, I'm also like always on Pinterest looking at ideas of room makeovers, and I'm an architecture, right? So like these things really interest me. So I keep spending money on like home stuff. I actually got like some really nice white bed sheets, but my mom won't let me use them yet because she's afraid they're gonna get dirty. Mums, I swear. But excuse me. But yeah, so this mic is actually my brother's, and I got a new light for making videos, and it just kind of like, turned out for the best. Like, I now have kind of a setup, and maybe I'll get a better mic soon, but I think for now this one is pretty great. I like it. I like this a lot. So yeah, I recently made a video, a movie commentary, and it was on Twilight, and it was just like half of Twilight. I just wanted to see how the video would be, and it actually turned out better than I imagined it would be, because I had no idea what I was doing. I just like went with my gut and just filmed the video. I obviously took a lot of inspiration from my favorite movie commentators, such as wow, I forgot his name. I just said he's my favorite, but I forgot his name. His name is Dan is Not on Fire. No, that was a very old. No, it's not him. Who is it? Dylan. His name is Dylan, right? Dylan is in trouble. Or Dylan is not in trouble. Just, yeah, him. I'll link him in the description box. But, I don't need to because he's quite popular, but if like one or two people are listening to me and you just want to find a great movie commentator, you can check out his videos. And then other people that I've watched too, like on YouTube, just different YouTubers. There's such great material out there, and I think that's really fun, just looking at their ideas and their thoughts, and then seeing like, oh yeah, I agree with this, I don't agree with that. That's like the fun part of doing this whole thing, I guess. So yeah, I made a video. I actually edited it, like the video for it took me 4 straight days. Like, I just kept on editing because first of all, I was new at this, and secondly, my laptop is a bit of a hassle. Like, it gave me so much trouble, But yeah, anyway, I got it done. So, and before posting, like I wanted to make certain more changes, but I couldn't because of, well, I just got fed up with my laptop by the end of it. I'm like, it is just, you know what, I'll just like make those changes to the next video maybe. But yeah, overall I was pretty happy with what I came out with. So I did get a lot of positive criticism, like positive comments on the video. Or people like reached out to me and told me like they really liked it, they had fun, and I should make more. I did get like one one negative comment, and it was interesting to see that. I didn't really respond to it because I'm like, but I wonder what goes on through your head before you decide to make hurtful, negative comments. I guess that comes with being putting your thoughts online, right? So I mean that's fine for me. It wasn't really that hurtful though. I guess they were just expressing what they thought, and I was like, yeah, all right, okay, you do you, man. It's fine. You don't have to like what I put out. So yeah, that's like so I want to make more commentary videos. Obviously that's the most fun I've had in so long, and I have been kind of so this year started off in the wrong foot, and COVID seems to not want to go at all. So this year this was the first thing, the movie commentary, the shooting of it, and then editing it. It was the first thing that really made me feel like myself again. But it's so weird because I've never done this before, but it just, you know, it was just really fun talking about something I'm passionate about, like movies, and then, you know, seeing myself try and talk about it and sharing that with an audience of I don't know how many people, but just the whole process was really fun. And I remember when I was editing the videos, like it just kind of, I went into this flow state of editing, and I really like getting into the flow of things. Like once you really get into that deep state of work, and like you don't have distractions and you're just focused on one thing, that is just so good. That's my favorite thing in the world. And I used to get that from art, and that's why I was so obsessed with making art or doing art, and I haven't had that in a long time. So getting that from editing videos was just really great for me. So yeah, the movie commentary really was fun, and I plan on making more. I made one with my friend the other day, yesterday. She came over and we did an Indian film that we grew up with essentially, and we just made fun of that. And it was all in good fun, obviously, but I hope I can edit that soon and put that out. I hope that's going to be a nice video too. I don't really know what to expect from this either. So since I am really starting out, I have no idea how my videos will be. But hopefully I get to put out at least one video like every few months. I would be happy. I feel like that's realistic for me considering my schedule and other things that I'm doing currently. I would be happy with that. I would be good. Like I would be satisfied with like one video every few months at least. Yeah. And one video a year. That's good too. And talk about not having any expectations from yourself. But, well, we already filmed the video. I just need to edit it, and that might take a few days, weeks. I honestly don't know. But yeah, as long as it's fun and I feel like doing it, I'll be doing it. So that's that. Also, if you want me to ever put out commentaries on certain movies, just like let me know in my comment sections, or just, you know, send me a message, a DM or something. I tend to always respond to people unless they're being super creepy. Then I just walk them. But yeah, if you're just there to talk and like not without any weird motives, then I will reply. And I am actually interested in knowing what kind of movies people want commentaries on. Like, I have no idea. So I just, for now, I plan to cover movies that I enjoy watching or I find funny. But yeah, I would be interested in knowing if there's other stuff that people would want to watch me talk about. So I wanted to start this podcast with a different topic, but I went on a tangent again about my YouTube videos. As I do, it's fine. I've accepted it. I think so should you if you're listening. So, I want to talk about the new Netflix series that came out, Love, Death, and Robots Season 2. I haven't finished watching every episode yet, but I have watched a few, and my friend came over and we watched the last episode of Season 2 first, and it was, I think, based on Gulliver's Travels and kind of inspired by that, but someone else's story, I forgot the name. And it's basically about a giant who washed up on the shore, and then the humans living there who were different size, obviously not giants, but like really really small people, or normal sized people, and the giant who's a giant. What? Okay, so I don't know, my brain is not working properly, but yes, okay, a giant and like normal sized humans found the giant, and they start to like have a lot of interest towards him, and then they kind of cut away different parts of his body until like the bones remain. And it's a metaphor for whales or other kind of similar animals that wash up on shores, and people really abuse their power or something. Like they would, they people even hunt whales, right? So they really take apart the whales in a very inhuman way. They don't really treat these magnificent creatures with respect, and just an overall criticism on the human race as a whole and how we treat other animals. And we just straight up act like this world, it was built for us, and everything else, like every other animal, just exists for our convenience. And that is just so condescending of us and entitled, and it's just so entitled, just so like, it's just, the entitlement is off the charts. But yeah, I think like once I didn't really like the episode at first because for a few reasons, which I'm gonna go into in a bit, but I didn't really like understand what is happening. And then my friend and I, we went on, like, we started reading a few articles, and they explained that it's more of a metaphor for like killing animals or whales, and just the whole thing that I just described right now. And like after that, it felt kind of nice, and like I felt like it was an interesting look into like human nature and how we treat other animals as a whole. So yeah, if you haven't watched it, you could start with that episode. And a lot of people did say like the last episode was their favorite. I wouldn't say it was my favorite because I still don't know about most of the other episodes. I've watched like 3, I think. Now I'll talk about the one that I did like, and let me just check the name. So I just checked the name of the episode, and it's called Pop Squad, and I really liked this episode and the story. It's about a cop charged with fighting overpopulation is haunted by the human toll of his work, right? I liked this episode a lot because of the story. It's very unique, and I liked how it showed a depth in character and layers in a character. Like you see someone who seemingly doesn't have emotions and is doing these he's killing, murdering kids and people, and then suddenly you see that there's this emotional side to him, and so the story forces you to really sympathize with the murderer, and you can't help it because you see that he's actually like not happy with what he's doing, but he's still forced to do it kind of, but not really, but it's just he's part of the system, so he can't escape that. I don't want to be giving out spoilers, so like I would just say that I found this story really interesting. Okay, so the reason that I wanted to talk about this is this the reason I wanted to talk about this is because this show, the first season of this show had around I think 8 to 9 episodes, and all of those episodes were super interesting. Especially, I think my favorite is The Witness and the Aquila Rift. So I even remember the names. That's how much I loved the episodes, and I watched them so many times. So for season 2, I think first of all the problem is people have had so much expectation. Like they expected so much from David Fincher. He even stopped filming Mindhunter because he wanted to focus on season 2 of Love, Death, and Robots. So that's one thing. Like, I'm already mad because of that. And secondly, the first season was just spectacular, so everyone was waiting for the season to come out. Netflix was putting out like small teasers, and even the Love, Death, and Robots Instagram and Facebook kept out putting certain teasers and little clips, and it seemed pretty great to me. I was really interested in like seeing what comes out. I was super excited, but yeah, it's like safe to say like it did not meet everyone's expectations, because it happens sometimes. Like it happened with Game of Thrones. Everyone just like expected the seasons to keep getting better and better and better, and at one point it deeply disappointed every fan almost. So similarly, I guess you could say the same thing about Love, Death, and Robots. It's objectively worse than the first season, but it's also part of like part of the reason that it wasn't just as well received is because our expectations were really high. I need to still watch every episode. I will because I still love the franchise. But yeah, I expected better direction. Like the art direction wasn't that great. I kind of felt disappointed in the ones that I did watch. So for the first story that I discussed, the one about the giant, it's called The Drowned Giant, and as the name states, that's the story. The giant drowns, and the reason that there's something that I pointed out when I watched it, is that when you see the humans like treating the giant really inhumanly and just disrespecting him, like his corpse, and just putting up a show with his body parts, it bothered me a little bit, but not a lot, because I really didn't get, like, as an audience, I didn't get time to really connect with the giant. I wasn't given a backstory or any story about the giant. Like, you just see a random giant, you don't know who he is, and the narrator talks about the giant a bit, but you don't really get to relate that much. And I get it, it's a very short film, so you have to cover a lot, but I mean, if you want to take your story towards that direction, you have to make sure that I as an audience get to connect with the giant, to actually feel bad about others, cutting pieces off of him or like really disrespecting his face or his dwarves, etc. So that's something that really I did not like about that episode. And another thing I noticed in the Drowned Giant and Pop Squad, the third episode, and the first episode, the automated customer service, is the art style. So in the first season, in Aquila Rift, you do have human-like art styles, but it's still very game-like. Like it's more like game design. So the characters don't look terrible. But no offense though, like it's just my opinion. In season 2, in the 3 episodes that I mentioned in Automated Customer Service and Pop Squad, and in The Drowned Giant, what happened is you see these characters being drawn very human-like. So even in Pop Squad, the art style wasn't terrible, but in The Drowned Giant and in Automated Customer Service, the characters are drawn in likeness to humans and just in a very eerie way. So there's this theory called Uncanny Valley, and if you don't know what that is, I would suggest like Google it, and you're in for a ride. And it's a really fun theory, and I really have a lot of fun looking at it and just reading up about it. And I said I have a lot of fun because I read up about it in different places, like constantly, like, you know, every few months, because like I just stumble upon something and it leads to that. So Uncanny Valley is a kind of a phenomenon, I think, or is a theory that discusses that Homo sapiens, I think they came, like we weren't the only human-like animals in the animal kingdom, and there were others like Neanderthals, and like other kind of species who were similar to us, and there had to be some sort of predator who was very, very similar to humans, and we ended up either fighting them or like running away from them. For some reason, we have created this evolutionary repulsion towards something that really, really resembles humans. So this is why when you look at cartoons that look very close like humans, like certain features that are very similar to humans, it actually bothers us rather than finding it beautiful, or like finding it like if you think about it, if you see a character that resembles humans, we are supposed to like it more, but we don't. The peak example of this that I can think about is Polar Express and the art style of that. The characters look so creepy and weird, and it's because they resemble humans so much. It's literally just human beings drawn on screen, right? But you don't really I don't know about anyone else, but like especially me, I don't like the way the art style looks, and it just gives me the creeps. And so that's what Uncanny Valley is. We at some point had to probably fight predators who looked very similar to humans, and they were probably really scary, which is why we developed these repulsions towards anything that is human-like. And you can really understand this well when you look at anime or other cartoons which don't resemble humans but go quite the opposite way, and like the eyes are much different, and you know everything, like the features are different, and we tend to find those cuter or more attractive. So that's just something really interesting. And the reason I'm discussing this is because in Automated Customer Service and in The Drowned Giant, the characters resemble human beings so much, like the Polar Express, the movie. And maybe that really contributes to people not liking the short films as much, because I mean that was definitely part of the reason. In automated customer service, I really hated the character. Okay, hate is a strong word. I really disliked the character, the woman's character, that was assuming the protagonist. That who was the protagonist, and I instead liked the old man that was present in the story, but the woman who was living alone in her house with her dog, the old woman just looked really creepy to me, and I did not feel good watching her. So yeah, that's something that I found interesting, and instantly I was like, oh, this has to be the Uncanny Valley syndrome, right? Because that's why I don't know if it's a syndrome. I just said that, I don't know, but like this has to be part of that theory. Like this proves that theory even more, because I did not like watching some character that resembled a human being so much. So that's what I want to say about Love, Death and Robots so far. Maybe I might make a short commentary on all of the episodes. Even if I do, I think it'll be more like a review. I'm not sure, or just maybe just like my thoughts on the films. Maybe, I don't know. But I need to watch the rest of it first. I really did like Pop Squad. Like the story of Pop Squad. Certain bits were really interesting, certain art style choices, certain scenes were really nice. So yeah, I mean, I guess if it was like similar to season one, I would say season one doesn't have like every episode on there isn't a banger. Like there are a few episodes I didn't like. So Pop Squad would be like, I would rate this one higher than those for sure. But yeah, it should have been better. But what can you do, right? So that's that. Those are my thoughts on Love, Death and Robots season 2. I would love to hear if you guys have any thoughts on that also. So the next thing I would like to discuss is the movie, The Deep Blue, I think. So my friend introduced me to this movie. So I would love to know your thoughts about the. I would love to know your thoughts about the season 2 episodes, and yeah, I guess for today this would be it. I'm kind of really tired, and I think you can already tell. I was at work today. I work now, and since there's no COVID restrictions here in my country anymore, like they lifted the lockdown. I don't know why they did that, but they did. So I started going back to work, and I'm kind of tired because yesterday, like last night, I filmed with my friend, and then we had this sleepover, and we slept at 5 a.m. I think. So that was that was fun, but that's the reason why I kind of feel really sleepy, and I have another. I think I have a meeting in a short while with this other work thing, so I could really use a breather. But I'm also having fun working and getting back to working on stuff, so I don't think I can complain all that much. As you can see by my very wide smile. So yeah, you know, like I think I'm the happiest when I have work and I'm being kind of productive. Hope I'm not jinxing it, but I think that's when I'm the happiest. And life isn't that bad right now, you know? Like slowly but surely things are healing, which is great. No, but honestly, COVID did like so much damage to my mental health, and I'm sure it did to you too. And it's okay, take your time. Don't rush yourself. really take a breather and focus on getting through each day rather than thinking about what's gonna happen in like a few years, or just really forcing yourself to do things. Just do what you absolutely must do, do the essential work, and then just keep resting until you become productive. This is like one of the best advices I could give myself and anyone else, is just rest up, like completely rest, and you can come back to work like much better, and you know, you can be more productive that way. But I don't want to be all preachy because I don't know anything. So you do you, and just figure out what works best for you. But yeah, get get a lot of rest and get a lot of plans. It's just I like, you can quote me on that. So that's it for today's episode of today's podcast, and I had fun making this as usual. I want to talk about more stuff in the future, and I hope if you have listened this far, I hope you have a good day, and yeah, good night. Goodbye.